found a second phone in my wife's car. It wasn't locked. That was the first mistake. Hers, not mine. My name is Marcus Webb, and I want to tell you about the 2 weeks I spent pulling on a single thread until the entire thing unraveled. It started on a Saturday morning, normal Saturday. I was looking for the car registration in the glove compartment. We had an insurance renewal coming up, and I couldn't find the paperwork anywhere. I opened the compartment, moved some things around, and there it was. A phone. Small, cheap, the kind you'd buy prepaid at a gas station. I almost put it back. I almost told myself it was old, forgotten, irrelevant. Instead, I picked it up, and it turned on. The screen was cracked at the corner. The wallpaper was blank, just black. No apps except the defaults and one messaging app I didn't recognize. No photos, no contacts saved under names, just numbers. I scrolled through the message history. Most of it was short, times, locations, a few words, the kind of messages that don't mean anything on their own. But there was one thread longer than the others. Hundreds of messages, going back 14 months. I read 3 of them. Then I put the phone exactly where I found it, closed the glove compartment, walked back inside. My wife was making coffee in the kitchen. She looked up when I came in. "Find it?" she asked. "Not yet," I said, and I smiled. Here's what you need to understand about me. I spent 8 years in financial auditing before I moved into risk management. My entire career is built on one skill: finding what doesn't belong. Patterns, gaps, the small thing that's slightly off, the number that doesn't quite add up, the timestamp that doesn't fit the story. I am very good at not reacting until I understand. So I didn't react. I made a decision in that kitchen, standing 4 feet from my wife while she poured coffee and asked if I wanted eggs. I decided I was not going to explode, not going to confront, not going to give her any signal that anything had changed. I was going to find out everything first, and then I was going to finish it. The second phone told me there was someone else. That much was clear from the messages I'd seen. But it didn't tell me who, and it didn't tell me what else I didn't know. Those were the 2 questions I couldn't let go of. I started small. Her location, she'd shared it with me on her phone 2 years ago for convenience. I checked it that first night after she fell asleep. Nothing obviously wrong, but I started logging it. Every day, twice a day, a screenshot with a timestamp, building a baseline. By day 4, I had the first discrepancy. She told me she was at the gym Thursday evening. The location said she was at a hotel 12 minutes from our house. She was there for 2 hours and 19 minutes. I didn't say anything. I just added it to the log. By day 7, I had 4 more discrepancies. The gym story, a work dinner that placed her in a residential neighborhood, 2 errands that took 3 times longer than they should have. The pattern wasn't random. It was scheduled. Every Tuesday and Thursday evening, give or take, she was somewhere she hadn't told me about. I had the who, roughly. I had the when. I needed the what else. That's when I went to the finances. We had joint accounts and separate accounts. That had been the arrangement since we married. Her money, my money, shared expenses in the middle. I had never looked closely at her separate account because that was the deal. Her money was hers. But I was an auditor for 8 years, and something was telling me to look. I requested access through our shared financial platform. I was technically listed as an emergency contact on all accounts from when we'd set things up. I told myself I was just checking, just looking for context. What I found stopped me cold. 14 months ago, The same month the message thread on the second phone started, she had opened a new account. Not hidden exactly, just separate. A savings account in her name only. And every month since then, between $800 and $1,200 had been transferred into it. Never a round number, always slightly different. The kind of amounts that wouldn't trigger a pattern alert. In 14 months, she had moved just under $16,000. I sat with that number for a long time. This wasn't just an affair. This was preparation.
She wasn't just cheating. She was building an exit. Quietly, methodically, for over a year. Well, I sat across from her at dinner and asked about her day and had no idea that the woman I married was constructing a parallel life I wasn't part of. I didn't sleep much that night, but I didn't break. I didn't call her out. I didn't send an angry message or leave a note or do any of the things that feel satisfying in the moment and destroy your position entirely. Instead, I called my attorney the next morning. I explained the situation, all of it. The phone, the location logs, the financial trail. He listened carefully and then said 3 things. First, don't touch the second phone again. Second, keep logging everything. Third, come in Friday so we can talk about asset protection before she makes another move. I was there Friday at 9. Over the next 5 days, my attorney and I built the case. The financial transfers were documented. The location logs were submitted. A forensic accountant flagged 3 additional transfers I had missed, smaller ones, going back 18 months. She had started earlier than I thought. We filed the initial paperwork on a Thursday. That evening, I came home, made dinner, and sat across from her at the table the same way I had every night for 2 weeks. She asked about my day. I told her it was fine. Then I said, I need to talk to you about something. She looked up. I know about the account, I said. The one you opened 14 months ago. I know about the transfers. I paused. And I know about Thursdays. She went very still. The attorneys have everything, I said. The accounts are frozen as of this morning. The paperwork is already filed. I looked at her calmly. I'm not here to fight. I'm here because you should know that whatever you were planning, you're too late. She didn't say anything for a long time. Then she said, How long have you known? 2 weeks, I said. She closed her eyes. You sat here for 2 weeks, she said quietly. Not a question. I needed to finish it properly, I said. She didn't argue, didn't deny, didn't reach for any version of events that made it smaller than it was. I think on some level, she had always known that if I found out, it would end exactly like this. Not with screaming, not with chaos, with a Thursday evening dinner and a calm voice and paperwork she hadn't seen coming. The divorce took 6 months. The financial transfers were treated as dissipation of marital assets. Her attorney tried to argue otherwise and failed. The account she had been building for 14 months ended up working against her in the settlement. Sometimes the thing people build to escape with becomes exactly what traps them. As for the other man, I never met him, never contacted him. He was irrelevant to me. He wasn't the one who made vows. He wasn't the one who sat across from me for 14 months building an exit plan while I passed the salt. She was. and she's the one who had to live with what that cost her. Here's what I want to leave you with. There's a version of this story where I pick up that phone on a Saturday morning and I walk into the kitchen and I blow everything up. Emotions running everything. No plan, no documentation, no position. Just two people destroying each other in real time. That version exists. I felt it. I felt the pull of it standing in that kitchen while she poured coffee. But I knew something that anger doesn't know. Information is only power if you use it at the right moment. 2 weeks of silence gave me everything. The financial records, the location logs, the legal position, the element of surprise. The ability to walk into that Thursday conversation with every card already played, every move already made, every exit she thought she had already closed. She built a plan for 14 months. I dismantled it in 2 weeks. Not because I'm smarter, not because I'm colder, but because when I found that phone on a Saturday morning, I made one decision. I decided to finish it, not feel it. The feeling came later. It always does. There were nights after the divorce that were harder than any of the 2 weeks before it. Grief doesn't wait for you to be ready. But I handled it on my terms. And when it was over, I was still standing exactly where I chose to be. That's all any of us can ask for.